All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the big one, surf education, which is basically what we do at Nippers. If anybody asks you what we do, this is what we do, surf education at Nippers. So this is the current Junior Development Resource Kit. The good news is that SLSA is currently redoing this entire package. So they've had input from every state. They've had input from a lot of experienced people. They've had input in from teachers, education people. They've had input from some people from some universities. So it's changing completely. So maybe half the material has stayed and we've reinvigorated it with a whole bunch of other stuff. Brand new program. So these are the booklets that all your age managers and age assistants should have. These are the booklets that should determine your Nipper calendar. Now I want to get into Nipper calendars a bit later, but I just want to raise one thing for you now. The Nipper calendar for a bunch of under 9s is completely different to your Nipper calendar for your under 13s. And usually I see a club with a Nipper calendar. So the challenge is to have a Nipper calendar for different groups at different ages. What the focus is going to be for your 13s, I guarantee you, is not the focus for your 8s, is it? There's no way what the focus is for your 13s is the focus for your 8s, and the skill level for that. So in real terms, you need a different calendar for your age groups. These materials are fully rigged. They've got the lesson, they've got the resources. They actually tell you exactly what you have to do to achieve it. Now, one thing I'd like to get across to everybody is that a lot of people look at these books and go, oh yeah, really good for CPR and signals and a little bit of surf education, but they actually cover everything. In here, do we cover body surfing in these books? Yes. Do we cover board paddling in the books? Yes. Do we cover dolphin diving? Yes. Do we cover board rescue? Yes. And yes, we cover CPR, basic first aid, radios. Yes, your SRCs now have to do their radios, so yes, they'll be in this also. So this is what your team looks at. Your age manager should have this. All your age assistants can have a copy of it. Make sure that they're all aware of what's going on, and you can refer to what we're doing on which day. Please don't use these as your Sunday wet option. You have a dry summer, you'll never get around to it. All right, so they're not there just for surf ed, they're there to run and deliver your Nipper program across the age groups. All right, so we've got two different sides of education here. We have a whole bunch of explicit outcomes. So those skills that we talked about in that little video before, the skills of dolphining, of wading, how important is wading? Really important. Shannon Eckstein's probably the best wader in Australia, right? Nothing worse than watching a lifesaver run through the surf fall over 3 times before they even get to the break. So wading's important. Dolphining's important. All right? Getting on a Nipper board properly, not 42 varieties. Getting on the board after you get past the break. These are your knowledge and skills which have to be taught, checked, and taught again. But at the same time, we've got a whole bunch of implicit outcomes of respect, self-confidence, courage. Resilience seems to be the word of the day lately across everybody. How do we teach resilience at Nippers? Do you do resilience training? Can you do resilience training? Yes, you can. Right? Courage. How to overcome. The more skilled you are, the more courageous you become. The less you know, the less courageous it's probably going to be the option, right? The less dependent upon someone to teach you what it is. Can you please tell me no, just go, go, go. Well, just the words just go, go, go are not a teaching platform, last I heard. All right, so we've got to make sure that we've got our implicit outcomes and our explicit outcomes all tying together. We've got some amazing people in our clubs. Are they brought down to Nippers? You know, Cuz Kirkwood from Maroubra. Do you bring him down to talk to the kids about what he's achieved and what they could achieve? Wow, wouldn't that be amazing? Right, Sarge coming down to the nippers at Wanda. What an amazing man you have down there. They can help with your resilience, with your courage, with your implicit outcomes. All right, so teaching skills correctly, what's the motivation for the skill? Why are we going out the back? Well, we've got to get out the back to rescue the patient. How quickly do we need to get there? Well, guess what? Real quick. So the wade has to happen, the dolphining has to happen, the swim has to happen. Yes, for the purpose of get to that patient and be able to bring them home effectively. That's why I want you on the board. I'm actually teaching you skills that really distinctly may not benefit you, but they're going to benefit the patient. What's your call on the line like we talked about before? What's the call on the line? Is it competitors ready? Is it face the water, go? Or is it a version of rescue, rescue, rescue? You know, sending the kids out, 60 metre swim, tag their friend, bring them back on an unaided rescue, do that a couple of times. I've got to tell you, it's more beneficial than just going around the cans. Yep, learning that unaided rescue. We all know how many nippers save people out of season, save people out of nippers. Maybe they should actually know how to do that. All right, so what's the motivation? Building the skill base up. First scenario, reading the water. No, this is a shore dump wave. What am I going to do? Not going to run into it and get smashed. I've got to get my timing right, understanding what the water's talking to you about, what it's saying to you before you get there. Your water skills, is the swim different for a pool to the ocean? Absolutely. Completely different swim from a pool to the ocean. Well, maybe we should mention that. Maybe we should get that skill happening. And life-saving patrolling, what it is to actually manage a beach. If you're a lifesaver, doesn't matter how old are you part of the beach management team on the day? Or is that just the adults? It's everybody who's in the red and yellow, correct? Yep. So realising your 13s are going to become 14s real quick. And the 14s are going to do their 7-week SRC and be on patrol. So we need to make sure that we've got that headspace happening in the bigger picture. And a whole club approach to your training. I can see every single club here and those that I know up and down the state, amazingly skilled people in first aid, CPR, beach, ocean, craft. They should be the people coming down and sharing their skills with your people, and not just a happy parent who's happy to put their hand up, but really doesn't know what they're talking about. I guarantee you no one here wants to be taught by people who don't know what they're talking about. So highly skilled, trained and efficient, and also working out that you've got your under 17s coming down, your paddling team. Great, they're amazing paddlers. But I guarantee you they actually haven't broken down their skill. They can paddle really well, but to break it down from an under 17, maybe put an adult with them to help them do their training on the day. Just don't leave your under 17s there because they'll just do their thing. All right, but they actually won't share the skill. All right, quick video for you. These are going to be upgraded, I understand, in the next few months, but this is one of our current videos.
Paddlers use alternative arms as though freestyle swimming and kick with the opposite foot. Kicking the legs from the knees will develop an increased arm rating and add power to the stroke. The legs should not go past 60 degrees when kicking, and it is best to kick the legs outwards so that they move in a circular path.
All right, so those videos are there for you on the members portal. Those current ones are made by Cuz Kirkwood, the Australian coach, and there'll be new ones created between now and next season on paddling, porpoising, diving. So these are the stuff that we can show the kids. This is what they can see during the week at home. This is what we're looking for. This is where they can do their learning. All right, so next year for season 21-22, there's a brand new foundation skills matrix coming out for you. So this will actually be building on the whole skill base. The entire skill base will be listed on the matrix. So this has been done in association with Surf Sports in breaking down the entire skill base for water, for craft, for board paddling, for flags, for sprinting. All right, working it up to a particular level and be different for the 9s to the 12s, but it's a full matrix for you to actually follow. So really well done. It does deliver all the way to competition, but it starts at our nipper level. So this will be for every nipper, not just those competing. This is for every nipper and every age manager to work through the matrix. Skilled trainers only, again, bunch of visual resources for you to help you. Again, all age groups and walks all the way to the competitive level, not just for the competitors. All right, so we also have a whole bunch of our videos for our skills training, whether it be for CPR, first aid, radio, and an example here for you.
Okay, we're going to check for danger to ourselves, putting on our gloves, checking for danger to any bystanders, and checking for danger to the victim. Do you see any danger?
I don't see any danger.
All right, so you all know where that video is heading. So those videos are not just in the SRC package, they're on the portal. So you're under 11s, you're under 12s, you're under 13s, should be seeing all this material before they get to their SRC. They're very detailed, they're very effective, they're very visual, all your trainers can use them. Even your age managers can obviously use these to do some extra stuff on the beach or in the clubhouse. So they're all brand new, they're all being done by SLSA, so please make sure that you're utilising these. These are your benchmark, all right? These are your benchmark. All the people who are training CPR at nippers should see this video because that's the aim, to do exactly what they're doing on their screen. All right. Qualified and experienced coaches, trainers, emphasise for your training, obviously, whether it's Saturday morning, Tuesday afternoon, Thursday afternoon, qualified, technically trained people, all right? Really important, demonstrating the water and the beach skills. The patrol captain should be liaising with the age managers on the day about what training they're going to be doing on their beach. And obviously if you're training during the week, then your team should be liaising in Sydney branch with the lifeguards to make sure the lifeguards are aware of what you're doing. And you most probably should have a radio with you so you can actually reflect back to the lifeguards if there's an issue. Because if you're training on Tuesday afternoon and something happens, there's no patrol there for you. The lifeguards are going to be your first port of call. Parents need qualifications to help. So if they're in the water, they've all got to have their SRC or their bronze, they've got to be proficient, they've got to be current financial. It's no use just putting them in the water if they say, I've got my bronze, it needs to be up to date and qualified. And the awards have to be in place. So your foundation coach, SRC, BM, all these awards need to be in place. And again, you're responsible for making sure this is happening. So getting a detail from your coaching director, your competition director, how it all happens at the beach on a Tuesday morning, Tuesday afternoon. You're not there, I can guarantee you. But there may be 60 kids down there. What's happening? What's their plan? Have they got a resource plan? If something goes wrong, what are they supposed to do? Have they got a sign-in sheet, sign-out sheet? Have they got the contact number for every child that's there? Because if a child breaks his arm coming in on a big wave, and they haven't got the contact number for that child, for that child's parents, have we got an issue? Pretty much straight away. So these things also need management. Alrighty, quickly onto the management team and what we're going to be doing with these guys. All right, so basically making sure that you know exactly what's happening at your beach on nippers on a Sunday morning, who's doing what, making sure who's responsible for what area and what time are people turning up. So your water safety supervisor, they're going to have to turn up a little bit earlier. Who do they have to liaise with? Anybody actually know? Which particular person on the beach do they have to liaise with? Patrol captain. The patrol captain, they have to liaise with the patrol captain on the day. Right? At the end of the day, it's the patrol captain's beach, so they have to liaise with them. That patrol captain is going to sign off on the water safety risk assessment that they're doing. I'm going to put the 9s there. Awesome, it's nice and calm, a little bit of a rip to help them out, smaller waves. 13s are going down the end where it's bigger. Great idea. Just don't do the opposite. All right, making sure that liaison's happening. Briefing sessions with the age managers and the water safety team. Awesome if you can get a self-sufficient age management team. I would put this down as a huge priority for any club to get a self-sufficient team happening, which means you're self-sufficient in your age management and self-sufficient in the water safety team. They actually know the kids. They know the kids' skills. They know who needs some guidance. They know who needs some help. They know who's going to go past them at 100 miles an hour. They know the team. If you can become self-sufficient in your water safety as opposed to just have your areas and water safety are there and the kids turn up, water safety don't know who they are. They don't know what you're looking for on that day unless you've actually had a really good chat to them. All right? Your sponsors, flags and signage, and obviously your barbecue team done as safely as you possibly can, and everybody in that barbecue team qualified as a member of the club. All right, your patrol captain is going to sign off on the water safety risk assessment. It's either going to be paper or it's going to be on your phone. All right, must be there every Sunday morning. You must have a risk assessment done before anybody goes in the water. And that means that nobody goes in the water for a quick training session with their nipper gear on before that water safety assessment is done and signed off. Sure, they can go as an individual, but not as part of nippers. All accidents and emergencies are managed by patrol and making sure your water safety supervisor has a radio. You don't want to have people running from where the incident occurred to patrol, because we all know what happens. Anybody runs that speed on the beach, the entire beach sees it and panic will ensue. So you must have good comms, do your radio check, water safety supervisor to patrol. And obviously if the patrol captain doesn't like what they're seeing on the day, they will come down and they have the permission and they have the role to stop you doing what you're doing in the water. So if your 9s have gone to the 13s area because the other areas are full and you put them in there and the minimum water safety, but the 9s are struggling and people are being pulled out, your patrol captain might come down and have a word to you. All right? So very important, patrol captain has final say. All right, so activities on the beach, your lifeguards are there for you to utilise during the week, Monday through to Friday. Your patrol captain will be there for Saturday, Sunday. Your age managers and your water safety team, your midweek training team, have they got enough water safety? Is the water safety supervisor there and you know who it is and they are staying on the shoreline? Not everybody in the water, 300 metres out. Anything happens out there, then who's going to go take care of it on the beach? So your water safety supervisor must be on the sand. They are just the supervisor. They're not necessarily the trainer. They've got to have their bronze medallion to be that position. They're not necessarily a coach or a trainer, but they must be there. They must be on the sand, and while everybody else does their stuff in the water. And they must be reassessing the conditions as you go through on the day. Really, really important. All right? Okay, so this is one that you could do with your team back at your club. We're not going to do today. But just to get a map of your beach, different conditions, low tide, high tide. I know at my beach we've got a shore dump one day and a lake the next, so how do we manage those days? Bronte, you've got that enormous express that goes out your southern end. Maroubra, you're going to have water moving south and north all the time. What are the issues with our beach? What are our risks? Do people actually know what we're dealing with here on a daily basis? Not forgetting that some people on water safety come down. They may not be on patrol. They come down for 2 hours on a Sunday. They may not be at the beach any other time, but they're 2 hours on a Sunday. So their skill and their understanding is going to be a bit limited compared to people who are there all the time. All right? So really important that you actually do this as a club. You look at your risks. We had one club a couple of years ago where children were dropped off at a particular location. That meant the kids had to go through a park to get to the beach. Well, now they get dropped off 2 people at the club, and halfway there is another person guiding those kids down to the beach, not just letting them run through the park by themselves. Did I think that was a great idea? Absolutely. All right, so you don't forget, you've got to manage from car park to the beach. Really important. All right, so we're going to just stop there for a second and we'll come back and we'll do our member safeguarding and protection. Thank you.